Hi there, this is Eddie from Shrooms to Go. Today I want to talk about making an all-in-one bag for shiitakes, chestnuts, that sort of thing. We're going to start out with a 32-ounce coffee mug full of hardwood fuel pellets and a scale. We're going to pour our hardwood fuel pellets into our bag. For this mixture, I use the Greenway oak pellets. I found them to be quite acceptable. And then we're going to add some bran. You can see this runs in at about 1 pound 10 ounces. And I'm going to add a jar full of bran to it. It's about 2 cups worth of just plain bran. I have it in my jar, and I'm just going to add it to my bag until the inside, or until my bag weighs 2 pounds. Okay, I've got that all in, and you can see it's just a little over 2 pounds, and that's great. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is add about a 1/4 cup of gypsum. Folks might say that's unnecessary. I can't really tell one way or another, but I do like to add it in there, so consider that an optional step. The gypsum that I use are the soft cow pellets for tomatoes and stuff. I get that at Tractor Supply, and it's pretty inexpensive. I just add about a 1/4 cup to each bag. Just pour it in right on top. When I have my bags all filled, I take a Sharpie marker and write on the filter patch the fuel pellets, bran, and gypsum to remind myself what I have in these bags, and to distinguish them from the usual master's mix that I make. Then to each bag, I will add 1,400 milliliters of water. So ball canning jars, quart jars, are usually pretty handy in that they have graduations on the side that show how many milliliters are in the jar, and they hold basically 800 milliliters. So you can just put a mark there at the 700 milliliter graduation and pour 2 of those jars in your bag, and it should bring you right at 5 pounds, which is proper hydration for your bag. And that's what our bag looks like with the water added. You can see it's coming in on the scale at exactly 5 pounds, 1.7 ounces, which is close enough. So at this point, I'm gonna fold my bag over and let it sit for just a few minutes. I'll show you those after I get these other bags finished. Okay, as soon as I've got water in the bags and it's mostly absorbed, I like to fold the bags over really quickly with the filter patch up. It keeps the bags a little bit smaller in size, so I like to fold them over with the filter patch up and just roll the bag over and let it sit for about 15 minutes after I've got it folded up. When we're done with that, we'll come back and add our grain spawn. There's the 4 bags that'll fit inside my 23 quart Presto pressure cooker, all folded up. And like I said, we're gonna let those sit for about 15 minutes to allow the water to get absorbed into the fuel pellets and the bran. I like to fold them up because the bags stay tight at that point and they're smaller and they're easier to fit in the pressure cooker. If you leave them open, the hardwood fuel pellets expand a whole lot more, and you can have a hard time getting them to fit properly in your pressure cooker. All right, we'll be back in about 15 minutes and add our grain spawn. So it's been about 15 minutes and I'm going to add my grain to my all-in-one bags. I use wheat that has been soaked for 24 hours, brought to a boil, and then simmered for 20 minutes. And I just put 1 pint of grains in each block. I've found that to be quite sufficient. You see some of the all-in-one bags online where people are growing other types of mushrooms where they have a whole lot of grains in the bottom of the bag. I add my grains to the top. I just find it easier to access. They're easy to mix up. You don't have the disturbance of the grains in the bottom of the bag. And I found that when I added them to the bottom of the bag, when I first started doing this, that as I poured my water in and stuff, they all got mixed in with the grains in the bottom, and I had to use a whole lot more grains per each bag. So we're gonna pour 1 pint of our cooked grains into the top of each bag. And that's what they look like. You can see inside the bag there, it does a nice layer, about 3/4 of an inch thick on the top of the bag. And now I'm just going to fold them back up just like I had them, with the filter patch on the outside, and get them ready to go into our cooker. There you go. I've got all the bags filled. You can see the grain on top, and they're folded with the filter patch to the outside. Now I found this is a great way for the small producer and or hobbyist like myself to do these bags, because you don't have to have a whole lot of expensive equipment like a laminar flow hood and such, because once these bags go in the pressure cooker, they're going to get sterilized, taken out, and then the impulse sealer will seal those bags immediately. So I've reduced one possible vector of contamination. Usually if these bags get contaminated, it's because your liquid culture you're injecting into them is contaminated. So I'm going to get these loaded in the pressure cooker, and we'll do a segment on pressure cooking your bags separately, because I cook all my bags the same. So thank you for looking. If you liked what you see, please click like and subscribe, and I'll have the next video up on sterilizing our bags shortly. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching.